I will be presenting on the IKEA case study. IKEA was first founded in Sweden in the 1940s by a young man named Ingvar Kamprad. Originally, IKEA sold many different things such as pens, furniture, and clothes, but when Ingvar decided to open a store, he decided that IKEA would only sell furniture. 20 years after opening the first store, IKEA was able to find great success in the furniture industry and was able to expand globally. With this newly found success, Ingvar decided that the vision of IKEA was to create a better everyday life for as many people as possible. This meant having access to furniture at reasonable prices and doing as little harm to the environment as possible. The furniture industry was very wasteful at the time, so IKEA needed to be very involved with every step of the manufacturing process if they wanted to meet their new goal. The first sector in the manufacturing process is the primary sector. The primary sector is responsible for the gathering of raw materials that will be used to make the IKEA furniture. In order to reduce waste and harmful effects on the environment, IKEA chose to work with over 1,300 different suppliers. Working with more suppliers meant that they could ensure that each resource was being extracted from the earth in a very non-invasive way. Another way to reduce the impact of the primary sector was by having over half of their products be made out of wood. Wood is a great resource because it's very easy to recycle and is a renewable resource. This means it can be grown and harvested as many times as we want. Some other ways of reducing the effects of the sector include using recycled materials and designing products to be easily stacked during transportation to reduce the number of loads necessary. IKEA also developed a method to check if a resource in the primary sector met their standards. This method is known as the E-wheel. The E-wheel follows 4 steps: resource extraction, production, use, and recycling. This method helps IKEA quickly determine what resources should be used in the production of their furniture. The secondary sector is where the manufacturing takes the raw materials and turns them into products that IKEA sells online and in store. IKEA uses many design tricks to use as little material as possible. This saves resources and it saves money for the customer. Some of these tricks include having hollow legs on chairs and tables and using filler material rather than having solid slabs of wood as tabletops. Another way IKEA reduces the impact of the secondary sector is by following a code they call IWAY. This code says that IKEA must use moral production methods such as no child labor, taking care of their employees, and following health and safety regulations. IKEA makes sure that all of its business partners are following the IWAY code regularly by conducting audits of the manufacturing process. The third sector in the IKEA system is the tertiary sector. This sector is responsible for the online and brick-and-mortar stores. IKEA currently has over 260 stores across the globe and is in 36 countries. IKEA wants to make sure that they try and reduce the impact of their stores, so they implement many practices to help lower the impact and waste production. IKEA reduces cost and shipping loads by having their customers buy the products and then assemble them in their own home. IKEA also recycles around 70% of their waste at their brick and mortar stores. Their goal is to recycle up to 90% of their waste by 2020. Another thing they did to help with the stores was installing and requiring energy efficient light bulbs at the stores. IKEA started as a one-stop shop, but as it grew and found success, the founder Ingvar Kamprad wanted to make sure that his company was taking the correct steps to reduce its impact on the environment. IKEA is very active in each of the 3 sectors in order to ensure that their visions are being met. They work closely with the primary sector to make sure that they're using sustainable materials and extracting materials in a safe way. They use special tricks in the secondary sector to reduce the use of materials and cost in order to follow good practices. In the tertiary sector, they follow good practices to reduce the waste produced at their brick and mortar stores.